Hello everyone, Vilisink back again with Raid Shadow Legends, and in this one I finished normal Doom Tower and I figured why not show you guys the team I used if it allows me to scroll along. I am now going up hard Doom Tower, but nonetheless the team for normal, the champions I used, the mechanics I used, the certain debuffs I used, hopefully you can take that onto your own account and you can somehow apply them if you are still on normal Doom Tower. So if we look at floor 119, because my team never changed very much, it was kind of the same team, like the whole way up. The only thing was, occasionally I would take out Vilisink, maybe put in Septimus, and maybe Ninja, but that's about it. It was like 3 or 4 stages that really I swapped around, but Vilisink is actually, she was one I used kind of less. It was only if I just wanted a little bit more protection, if I wanted to go in with pure control. But normally my team for most of Doom Tower normal was this. Now, you might think it's kind of a hard team to get, and it's really not. Rotos can be anybody. There is many free-to-play champions that can hit reasonably well. And if you have Ninja, you get the HP burns, you get the freeze, which is quite consistent. Stagnite is readily available if you've played the game long enough. Sylar, yes, she's void, but any AoE champion in a stun set could be the same. So Nessa could effectively do that for you, as long as it's a stun set, because I wanted to basically just control people, and Sylar the Drakes again in stun set. So with that being said, I'll show you the builds for these champions, and hopefully you can integrate it in with your own account. You can kind of try to get similar stats. Maybe you're on normal. If you're on hard, this is kind of maybe not the video for you, but still it's always good to pass out this information. So we can start with Ninja. And I've done multiple videos on Ninja, and I think I changed her ring and I gave him more attack. But yeah, she is pretty much a damage machine. When I get a better chest plate, I'll give him more crit damage. We'll see, just to keep the boundaries of kind of what needs to be the same, or what needs to be in line. The main stats I use for Ninja, he is a pure nuke build. 30,000 HP, 5,500 attack. Again, it's quite high attack. But if you get to 4,000, it might still be okay. He's a very strong champion. I used Ninja when he had 3,800 attack. Did a few videos. Still a very strong champion. So please do not sit on him like I did. I had him and I thought to myself, well, I have champions, I won't need Ninja. And I was kind of wrong, because as well as doing damage, the freeze procs quite a lot, and so does the HP burn. And it does a lot of damage. Never really bothered about the defense. He is slower though, because he has attack boots, so he's 162 speed. Now, there's got to be sacrifices somewhere, I guess. But with control comes a loss of turn for the enemy, so the speed is kind of irrelevant. 106 crit rate, slightly higher, 253 crit damage, some resistance and some accuracy. The accuracy was really just what was on the pieces. I never really meant to build it up, but I do have a great haul bonus which kind of helps considerably. And artifacts, there's actually quite a lot. I think maybe has one perception set on. That was kind of the build I went for him. It was pretty much pure damage. You do get the joys of having the freeze and the HP burn do additional work for you. Sylar the Drakes, basically level 12 in our top rows items. And she was taking out a speed gear, put in stun, and I've done multiple videos on her with like Dragon 24, Dragon 25, and Ice Golem as well. You can even take her into Spider if you are really daring enough. And she has 51k HP, 3000 attack, 210 speed. Doesn't need 100% crit rate, but I still wanted to get a respectable hit. 102 crit damage, but the accuracy is where we're going for. Just for the decreased speed on our A1, the stun set helps, but the decreased speed is pretty awesome. Also, the chance of decreasing the turn meter by 15%. So that is something that you would kind of want to have in your roster. Revive is obviously good as well. Master Ace, she doesn't have any, so I haven't mastered her, but yet she is doing fantastically well. Another champion that came in to, I mean, I think, did I use Septimus? I don't think I did. I think Ninja, I'm not sure I did, but I think because he's pretty much just for Spider. I may have took him in if there was a force heavy team, but again, any person that does damage that is Spirit would do the job. Low HP, high attack, 177 speed, crit rate, crit damage. An MVP of Doom Tower, an MVP of Factional Wars. This champion absolutely took the piss out of Factional Wars. I progressed so quickly up Factional Wars when I put her in a stun set, and you literally have no idea. It makes the Valkyrie waves look like children with pacifiers. It is ridiculous. She is that good. First and foremost, she is not mastered. She is fully booked, I think. But the plan for her, the stun set works really well because of her AoE attacks. 36k HP, go over the stats first. 2000 attack, 2800 defense, 248 speed, quite fast. I could have got faster, but with the stun set, I lost a little bit of speed, but I had to make sure I had sufficient HP, sufficient defense, speed, and most importantly, accuracy to land what she has on her kit. So the stuns are really cool, but she also has a fantastic A3 that decreases speed on all enemies, decreases turn meter of all enemies by 40%, incredibly strong, decrease accuracy for Factional Wars, for Doom Tower, for dungeons. This is fantastic. If you're progressing, use Sylar and stun. You could also use her there if you chose to. Her A1 is just simply an attack all enemies. Again, so really great for a stun set. Who else did we see? I do not think we said hello to Rotos yet. Hello, Rotos. So Rotos, again, could be anybody. He hits decent enough. But there's lots of other damage dealers you could put in crit damage sets, and you could hit pretty much just the same. Some of you may even have him from a fusion way back in the day. And he is 20,000 HP, so really low. But he cannot be one-shot because of his passive, 4800 attack. Quite high defensively, but that's just classic arena. Kinda pumping that up. Artifacts, I haven't really focused on it, but his defense of 1200 as a base is quite high. 161 speed, full crit rate, 287 crit damage, 135 resistance, 134 accuracy. The accuracy does kind of help Rotos, not just in Doom Tower, where he is quite good, but also in dungeons and Factional Wars. Because of the A1, he can put up the big version of decreased defense. Everybody knows that this just removes HP and gives it to himself, and you can activate your A3's block revive if you take more than 60,000 HP, as it states there, which ignores block damage and unkillable. Vilisink was another one. If this is just a shout out to Vilisink, who is really strong. She was buffed recently. Now, I think there was a few rooms, maybe just after floor 100, if they were force heavy or if they had quite a lot of control champs, along with Sylar the Drake and stun, who has a stun in our A2 as well. Sylar, who just uses turn meter, stun set. The provokes are very strong, so single combat is a great thing to use. It is unbooked, but the provoke lands. She does have decreased speed, ally protection, and turn meter reduction on her A1. And with her, she is a champion who I recently built, I want to say a few months ago. Yeah, she has some gear to go to 16, and I'm quite happy with the build, to be fair. I think she lost her... I want to say she lost her banner to Sylar. I can't remember, but I've done quite a bit of Spider, so maybe we can get that back. 53,800 HP, 3k defense, 213 speed, reasonably fast. Her again with Sylar and Factional Wars. Vilisink and Sylar just make it really a joke. Crit rate, crit damage, not really important. 105 resistance and 337 accuracy. Again, an extra provoke with Vilisink is really good. Control the whole waves if you miss a stun with Syl, or if it's one turn away for Sylar on her cooldown, you can definitely use her. That's basically who I use for the whole of Doom Tower normal. Vilisink, who is a champion. There's one more, I just remember there's one more. So Vilisink, who is a free champion. Ninja, who's basically built for damage and nothing else. I've done multiple videos. He has no masteries and he's still like a ridiculous champion. So please invest a bit of time in Ninja. Even at 50, he is very strong. Syl, just gorgeous woman she is. Put in a stun set and she'll make you proud. She'll do her job. Rotos can pretty much be any other damage dealer that you want. Because you're taking in so much control and you'll have your decreased defense champion. You may only have one damage dealer. Does not have to be Rotos. You can take in anybody else that you have. If you have an AoE damage dealer, even better, like a Gambo. Or some people are lucky enough to have Trundas. Some people have Turvolds. I'm trying to think of epic ones now. Like Fenax can hit quite hard as well. That type of champion. Obviously went over Sylar, who, irrespective of where you take her, please put her in a stun set and just you'll fall in love with that champion. Absolutely 1000%. And I also used this champion here. This was my decreased defense champion, pretty much all the way up. Even when it was off affinity, I still chose to take him in because he does hit relatively well as far as his stats go. His utility is fantastic, and all around he is just one of my favourite free champions. And you should be using him. I hope you are. If you're not, please invest some time. Take a look at him and work on him. You will not be disappointed. His full stats: 45,000 HP. Attack is not important. He's defense based. 2700 defense, 247 speed, pretty fast. 84% crit rate, 208 crit damage. So he does smack a bit of a. He does have a bit of a smack behind him. Resistance is only 90, but his accuracy is 383. So he learns the debuffs. I use him in Doom Tower, but I also use him in Fire Knight. I could also use him Dragon, Ice Golem, depending on affinity. Spider, I use him in Spider as well, literally. I use him in Factional Wars. Stag Knight is such a utility-based champion. It is just fantastic. He has a really nice kit as well. Decreased speed. If this lance hits twice, and if you have Evil Eye, you can decrease speed and also decrease turn meter of the enemy. Hunt Master, we all know what that is. It's his AoE. Book it to 95% chance. If you get Fearsome Presence, it goes to 100. And it will be decreased defense and decrease attack for 2 turns, which is quite invaluable. And that pretty much summarizes everything up. So he was my decreased defense champion. I basically had Sylar and Syl for control. Occasionally I would use Vilisink. Ninja and Rotos were my damage, and that was it. That really was it. If you don't have great damage dealers, your runs will take a little bit longer, but you could also use the Bizarre champion Drexstar I never use him that much. If there's the Frost Spider, he's really good. He's actually like so good in there. Just obviously because he puts up HP burn, he does provoke people, and if he gets hit because of his passive, it can cause him to be struck under a HP burn. So the champion's resistance increases by 10 for every enemy under a HP burn. So he gets even more resistance, and mine is built kind of with Doom Tower in mind, but I don't use him as much as I normally would. But if you wanted to have control like Vilisink, Sill, Stag Knight, if you wanted to take in all the stuns and the controls and the provokes and so forth, you could burn your enemies to the ground. It would be relatively easy, take you longer, but still a very safe route to go. 55k HP, 3.6k defense, 203 speed, 273 resistance, add 51 if you're in dungeons, so 323, 280 for accuracy. Depending on who you have in lead, all that can change. So that is pretty much the champions that got me all the way up to pretty much every single floor. Occasionally, Rotos or Ninja may get taken out if I needed to put Vilisink in or whatever it was. That was really it. It was the same team all the way up, the same dynamics. Sill and Sylar just to control everybody. Stagnate, decrease defense, and let's do some damage. That pretty much got me the whole way up to the very top. So I hope me showing you this and telling you who I used, and also doing it with champions that mostly are readily available. Ninja, Sill, Vilisink and so forth, Stag Knight. I hope if you're on normal Doom Tower, I hope this can help you maybe get past the level you're on. Depending on what level you are on, stick it in the comments. If you're on hard and did normal, who did you use? The more we circulate information, the more it can help other people. So, as always guys, I appreciate your time. Thank you so much for watching. Stay safe, keep on reading, and I will see you in the next video.